Our next speaker is Darren Fleming. To evaluate Stephanie's speech, please welcome Darren Fleming.
Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, it's with great pleasure that I evaluate Stephanie Chan's speech, Necessity, the Mother of Invention. Stephanie's objective this morning was to entertain us, and she achieved that objective. When you set out to entertain, there's a number of elements you must achieve. And the first is ownership and confidence on the speaking platform. How did Stephanie do that? When she entered the speaking platform, she walked tall, hand outstretched to the contest chair, and after the salutations, "Good morning!" What does that do for us in the audience? What it tells us is she's prepared, she's focused, and she knows what she's doing. It enables us to go on the journey with her that she wants to take us on. The second element that you need to include is a good sprinkling of humour, and we had that today. How was the humour constructed? Because it wasn't just accidental humour. If we dissect what happened, Stephanie sent us down a train of thought and then twisted it off to create the humour. The example of that is when I lived in Singapore or Malaysia, we had people to assist us with all our chores. And what are we thinking? Maids, servants. And she said, no, not mothers. That twist gets us to cognitively engage and emotionally engage with her message. When we do that, we are on the journey with her. It's from this humour that I'd like to give my first recommendation. When you look at body language, you take it from, if you graph it from 0, which is very quiet, all the way up to 10, which is talking at the top of your lungs. Stephanie was about 6 and up for the whole presentation. When you take something such as humour and then you put in the twist and then couple it with a drop in tone and volume, you add another element to your presentation. An example of that would be when I moved to Australia, the great southern land of do-it-yourself. It adds another element that takes us on the emotional journey. My second recommendation comes from body language. When you have body language that mimics the words that you're saying, what happens is it can turn into a bit of pantomime. We did the ironing, the old people, and we did the light bulb. How can you take that to the next level? Instead of acting out what you're saying, refer to it. Get someone to do the ironing. Look after Nana in the wheelchair and change the light bulbs. That gets us thinking in a different way, and we can see Nana on the stage and refer to the light bulb. With entertaining speeches that tie back to the start, which is what Stephanie did. At the end of her presentation, she said, if you come to my palatial house, you'll have a meal cooked by yourself. She referred to the fact that she doesn't cook. What that does is that brings the humour from the start to the end of her presentation. In conclusion, great use of the confidence. Take your body language to the next level and keep those tie-ins, and your presentations will continue to be entertaining speeches.